How are you going?
Very good, man. It's we've been away from Scotland for a while now. We've planned and prepped for, and it's nice to be in a hot country. It certainly has thrown us some challenges from a point of view, but it's nothing we didn't expect. It's
Yeah.
we prep for it, we plan for it, but until you are in it, nothing can really prepare you for it.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying it. We're loving it. We're playing good cricket, and boys are ready to fire.
So you've got your warm-up game coming up tomorrow, and then when do you kind of fully into the tournament?
We play Bangladesh on the 17th, and then the 19th we have PNG, and then the 1st we have Oman. We're in Group B, and Gary, many would say that group probably a group, but actually, if you look at all 8 teams, there's no because on their given day, any of these teams can come out and beat you. That's just the nature of the beast and and that's what's so wonderful about it. So you can't take your eye off the ball, whether it comes to an Oman playing at home. I mean, do they need any more motivation than that? And they should just beat in Australia. So we better be careful there. And you get through those 3 teams, and then you're in the big mixer. Then you can go, anything in that next round.
Yeah. And Shane, tell us, I mean, with the balance and the nature of the guys you've got, I mean, if you had to put a perfect game together, what kind of do you think your strengths are as a team?
You always want to believe that you cover all bases within your unit. We've got up front with the likes of George Munsey and Carl Kutso, who play a very modern day brand of cricket. Nothing less than any of the other teams can produce at times, and we've seen it on occasions where they've taken down that first power play. And then our middle order batters are really adept at playing very well, which I think is going to be a key battle within this T20 World Cup. It's on the conditions that are presented here in the UAE, hot conditions. The wickets are probably used wickets. So we've got to make sure that we play spin really well and we bowl spin really.
Yeah.
That's something that I really feel we've done really well in the last 12 months. Not only the way we play spin, but just how spinners are bowling. We've of a wrist spinner now, which is really handy in T20 format. We've got seamers that are all competing. We've got spinners that are all competing for places. And I know any of the 15 guys that are within this can put their name in that first 11 and come in and make an impact. So a couple of boys have played county. Brad Wills played in the 100, and they'll certainly take that experience and use it to their advantage.
And how do you, from a coaching perspective, Shane, kind of prepare the thinking around the team? As an associate country, are you talking about upsetting some of the big teams, or what would your expectations be as a coach with your team?
It's a very good question, Gary. What the mindset away from always being an underdog, and actually that we belong, and believing that we can mix it with the big boys at any short time. For us to do that, we know we've got to play our best cricket. We know we have to bring our skills at all times. So very much as a mindset shift in terms of believing that we belong. That's really important, and that comes through the leadership team and senior players within the unit. That also comes from the way that we train. Gary, I look at this pandemic, and actually for us, it's been an opportunity to actually get better because a lot of time together, we've had the chance to train and work on those very skills that we think we're going to need in this tournament. Our guys have had the opportunity now to go certain fitness elements, work on various skills they know they're going to require in this tournament. So it's very much in the making, So we've been lucky that we've actually bought ourselves a bit of time, the team within that time. So yeah, we're going to be challenged. We know that, but we know as cricket and follow our processes and our routines, we can take down anyone.
You talk about a rhythm. Each team has its own rhythm, and a way of playing. And when you're at your best as a group of people, what do you see from the outside? We're
very proud. Our guys are a group, and quite often what happens is guys feel they need to be working a little bit harder. So it's not strange in our environment to see guys over long periods of time that putting in massive amounts of effort. Whereas actually at a time like this, all the work's been done, and actually less is more.
Yeah.
It's about keeping the unit calm, keeping them really on the job at hand, and actually within these conditions here in the UAE, being able to allow guys to train effectively for a short time to be able to really utilize that energy when they're really going to need it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of learning away from this trip, and probably the players would identify that themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like you're helping build some maturity in the group.
It is, yeah. Many players would say a Scottish cricketer is maybe 3, 4, 5 years matures a little bit later than other cricketers, it's just down to the nature of us not getting a lot of cricket. So it's about us trying to accelerate that growth as we can, so that when you get on the big stage and you want to mix it with the big lads, you perform straight away. But you've experienced the associate nations cutthroat mentality. Game's a must-win game, and with that brings all sorts of pressures for the guys. But in particular, we have good experience in guys that have been at World Cups previously, have experienced that sort of pressure previously. So they're able to pass that on through the group, and we're able to just throughout the whole group. For me, it's my first World Cup, so this is something I've worked for my whole career. When you look back and you start reflecting and you go back through your years, and actually you've done kind of leads you to this moment, isn't it? Everything, all the work, and we know that other staff too that feel the same. So there'll be a bit of nerves, but we're really ready for it, and we can't wait.
The beautiful thing is, like, if someone said pick a winner for this tournament, it's not easy, and especially with a T20 format. I mean, the West Indies, I suppose, have kind of won a couple of these tournaments in the last 10 years or so. But who do you think are the kind of teams that probably look like they're going to be the best teams in the comp?
I really rate highly the West Indies. They're actually staying in the same hotel in them, and I've had to time with them and just see how they kind of manage themselves. They've got some serious power within their unit. They've also got some good spinners that can sort of be those all-round options down the order. I think any team that has good spinners and can play spin really well is going to be crucial. And then you can't throw out any of your Australias, your Pakistan, even a team like Afghanistan who can come out and really have some huge match winners within that unit. So your guess is as good as mine. I want to make sure that we throw our names in the hat too, and whoever goes on and wins this tournament is going to have to be consistently very good.
Yeah, I think that, and also maybe Shane, it looks like, having watched IPL, 3 very different wickets that you're going to be playing on.
Teams often set the game up and are 112, 13 overs, and then quite often you'd expect teams to get 200 from those positions. But actually, what it's showing you is, as the ball gets older, actually it becomes really tough to manage that period. So it'll be really interesting to see how teams go about their tactics and which part of the phases of the game they might attack, and who's going to be bowling in those different phases. So it's going to be fascinating to see what teams come up with.
Well, it's great to have you on the platform, Shane, and it's such a privilege for me to be able to talk to all the coaches. This is a coaching platform, and certainly a real privilege just to understand how you guys are preparing for the tournament. And we wish you well. I think for the associate countries, us as a platform have worked a lot with the coaches through those countries. We know what you're going through. We know the challenges that you have, but we also know that you guys have professionalized those spaces significantly. So there will definitely be some upsets. And hopefully you guys are the beneficiaries of those upsets. And good luck to you.
Thank you very much.